morning. I'm Victoria Savage, Nurse Savage on your side, your wisdom guided oracle. And we're having coffee. And don't tell my husband, but I bought a new mug. And again, one of the cool things that will catch me every time is the little picture on the inside. This is a moose, and everything about it I love. The colors, the delicacy of it, and the mooseness of it. So I still have a little room in my cupboard, so I'm good. But if he finds out, he's going to roll his eyes. That's the extent of what he does. But how are you? How is this weekend? Whoa. I'll tell you what, Saturday, Sunday, some pretty intense energy coming in from the sun. Yeah, there's just a lot of energy we're being bombarded with. And for some of us, that translated into pain. My husband and I were both in a fair amount of pain with no provocation. And for those who've been watching me long, know that I started carnivore, more ketovore, but maybe a little keto, mostly carnivore in January to explore the idea of pain and what the carnivore diet could do, if anything. And man, has there been a hugely dramatic decrease in the pain. So when Saturday and Sunday happened, it was not comfortable, starting Friday night, really. But the geomagnetic activity has been really high, and it's portended to be really high again today and the next couple days. So have some supplies on hand in case this puts the grid out for a bit in your area, some water, some batteries, some light source. If you by chance have any kind of swimming pool, I'd get some water in it, especially if you live where it's hot, so you can have some ways to cool down. So just be prepared. Don't be fearful. Fear is the easiest energy to manipulate. And man, are we seeing that in the world, just what's going on and what people are doing. I don't know about you, but I am so over these psychics with these headlines of what they're predicting and what's going to happen. The truth is, it doesn't matter what they say, whether it's accurate, whether it's not. You doing you is the only way we're going to get through this in a higher vibration. And so I invite you to stay away from the predictions, because the knowing the future, there's no good stuff about it, because then you react in a way that is gonna likely slow your roll and your path in this world. When you attend to you and what you're doing and your responsibility to the earth, to the world, to the people of the world, that is key in creating an easier transition that we're moving into. And that's what this reading is about: hyper responsibility. Not necessarily a good thing. And so let's see what the universe, the cards wanted to come through today for the love of dragons, the sacred forest, and energy. What was it? Oh, earth magic were the three decks that stood out. And yeah, that's it. So the overarching card energy today. Oh, I forgot to change it again. You know what? I'm going to do that right now. Let's just see if I can. Can I do that? No, not there. I'm going to go in. I hope I'm not ending too much. Let's just see here. Okay. Can you read that? Yes. You would think I'd have this down by now. Summer solstice, the radiance. This is a very high vibe card. And certainly we're 5 days from the solstice. The sun came up with its activities, which absolutely affects us. And it affects each of us differently. Like I said, for my husband and I, the last few days, very painful. And because we are physical and it acts on our physical. With others, it can be mental things. It can be relational issues. And if you're where it's very hot, that's when tensions really do build. And of course, Saturday, we had the No Kings effort around the country where people were gathered and portended things could go wrong. I have done very well to stay away from the headlines because it just brings me into a state of fear and angst. Those are easy to control. I don't want to be there. And so doing me and balancing out that hyper responsibility, that responsibility. Who am I responsible to? First and foremost, I'm responsible to me, to bring through, to do in this world what I wanted to do. That brings me to a more peaceful place inside. And that's really where we want to stand in whatever we do, in a place of peace, not agitation, not anger, not fear, not overwhelm. Breath work is huge right now for all of you experiencing these different emotions. The solstice, the sun card, is always very high vibe. It is a positive energy fueling your forward movement. Get outside if you can. Get into nature, touch the grass, a tree, gaze on the flowers, sit by a river. You know, I say this a lot. It's because, number one, Mother Earth is incredibly generous to us and will do the healing work that we need. But it also brings us back to a place of balance. Hyper responsible. We're going to talk a little bit more about that, but hyper responsible is not a place of balance. And you're looking at somebody that carried in a fair amount of that energy. Hyper responsible tells you that you are responsible for way more than you have any responsibility for. You're responsible for your parents' balance, for their poverty or lack of poverty, for their relationship. You're responsible for what happens with your siblings and your parents. You're responsible for the people in your life that you work with. You give up yourself. You sacrifice yourself. Hyper responsible is a very destructive energy. We need to find balance. So where does that come from? Why do we come in with that? We come in with hyper responsible because of past life energies, because of ancestral energies that we agreed to come in and heal. Past life energy says that we did something, we created a thing, and in this life we are responsible for fixing that and everything in everyone around us. You know, perhaps you were royalty that was not the best kind of royalty, that was the king, was the one who enacted not lovely things on the subjects, and you were responsible for the downfall of many people. And so you wanted to explore that side of responsibility as you came in, and that weight of the hyper responsible was put upon you. You chose to wear it to fully understand the weight of responsibility that you didn't fully understand you had last time. That can also come with real financial struggles, real health struggles for you. And again, the weight of all these energies, you know, as a nurse and being an empath, I absolutely carried in and held on to the energies of others within my body. That's how it translated for me as pain. And when I went, oh, I want to help you, I would draw that energy to me and carry it within me, and it would add to the pain. I did a lot of cord cutting, but again, there is still energy within me that I work on regularly to release. But first, we need to understand it. We need to understand and learn from it what we intended to learn before we came in. That is a balanced responsibility, knowing that you are the creator here. You did a fair amount to plan this life path before you came in. The unfolding of it is where our power really lies in this lifetime. The creating. It is not that what we're learning as much as how we're learning it. We can make it as hard as we would like. We can make it as easy as we would like. The next card that came up for the love of dragons energy, the idea hatcher. Kind of reminds me of the Fool card in the normal tarot. This is the one that is inventive. This is the one that is looking to create new ways of living. And the idea hatcher absolutely is someone who carries responsibility, because when we are open, willing, and ready to the universe, to the world, to creation, we will get ideas that help the world move forward, help us move forward, but we need to keep them in balance. What is my responsibility with this idea? Am I to enact it? Am I to share it? Just because we have this idea does not mean that we have to be the ones to enact it. It may be what it comes through us. I have lots of ideas. I'm a Gemini. I'm in my head way more. In fact, I was watching the series Stick on Apple, which is quite cute. And this kid was golfing, not doing well. And the guy said, you got to get out of your head. And I started thinking about that. I really am not sure how to do that in a situation where you're so wound up in the you're not doing well, and how you would just shift that. That's something I'm going to ponder because I am in my head a lot and I get lots of ideas. Not all of them are for me. And some of them are, and I have refused to put them into practice. I have one that just came up and it doesn't scare me, but it's a huge responsibility. And the idea arrogance, that's what's been coming up for me when things come through that are me, that I know are me. It's like, wow, that's really arrogant though to even think that. So this hyper responsibility does not mean that you have to act on everything, but it means that you may want to share some of these things. Aspen spirit, courage, the courage. The courage that I need to go, okay, look at that. Ooh, I love that castle. This is a sacred forest. Courage. Living that life of hyper responsibility, but intending to let go of the hyper for balance. Hyper responsibility and control go hand in hand. We need to live mediated responsibility and mediated control in life. Excuse me. So that courage is that we need to have the courage to be willing to let go of the things that are not ours, to take hand in, to actually, quote unquote, manhandle, woman handle. We need to allow the understanding of it to come and realize that just because that idea, that thing came, does not mean it is mine to act on, but it may be mine to share out into the world. So finding that balance, that mantra, I'm open, I'm willing, I'm ready, guide me, keeps us in a place of balance and understanding of what is ours to act on and what is not ours. The next card, release, the autumn equinox. Release what is not yours, what is not your responsibility. Well, how do you know that? Constant communication and working with muscle testing. And I've said it many times when I work with people on their energy, when I do energy healing, I teach them to muscle test because it is very important for me that they understand these answers came from them, through them, not from me, because then they understand the ownership of it, the reality that it is truly them that is telling them this energy. So when you start to muscle test yourself and you quote unquote play with it, good morning, excuse me, Ronnie. When you start to play with that energy and that muscle testing, you begin to trust yourself more. When you ask of your angels, guides, companions for the answers, it will come immediately. Oh, I can almost snap with this hand again. I realized over the years I hadn't been doing that, and the things have changed. And so I've been working on my flexibility in my hands and in the rest of my body. Again, we have to work the physical in this lifetime. Sitting down and hoping things get better is never going to be the thing that helps. It's just like everything in life. You can sit back and hope and wish, which are both powerless, even though people, talk about hope as being this very powerful thing. And it can be, but when it means that you sit and hope that someone else brings you the answers or provides for you, it is no longer power. It is then victim. So I digress. Release the things that are not yours to play with. And I can guarantee you, you probably know several of them. And they're going to come up again and again because they went in layers, and they're part of the theme that you came in to release and heal in this lifetime. The hyper responsible has come up for me many times, along with control. So it is my choice to release the hyper part of it and ask greatly and continuously, what is my responsibility here? So the next card for the love of dragons that came up is the healer. I know that is true. And it took me a very long time to own that title, because I am the vessel through which that healing comes. But in everyday terms, that's what people recognize, that I am the healer. And I do help heal because my intention is that you receive what you need to release that layer of energy. And so I am responsible only to bring you to the understanding and ask Creator to help you release this. I command it, and a layer is lost to the universe. I command it to go to the central sun. That's where I send all energy that is being released when I work with people. So the healer is the one, and we all have that aspect in us that will help release these energies that are holding us back, lying to us, telling us we are far more responsible for others than we truly are. The hyper responsible parent never lets their child grow up, never lets their child understand consequences, never lets their child fall and scrape their knees because they don't want them to get hurt. The balanced parent allows their child to learn through their own experience that sometimes their decisions cause pain. So that's just a graphic on what it means to be hyper responsible as well as responsible. We need to find balance, 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 balance. One of the other energies that I bring through and embody as much as I can is the energy of Buddha. Buddha is all about the middle way. Extremes on either side are never right. The extreme right is not right. The extreme left is not right politically. We want to find out which parts of us are out of balance in our belief systems and bring them closer to center. That's just a political pictorial graph. In every aspect of our life, where am I out of balance? Am I eating crap food all the time because I hate cooking and I don't want to do it, and my health is suffering so that I need to eat differently, but I don't want to? I can guarantee you, over and over, particularly last year, I kept getting the message: make it from scratch, bring the ingredients into your home, make it from scratch, because it is the chemicals in all this food that is causing this imbalance in our world, particularly the United States. We have been somebody's grand experiment, and I don't think it was the kind, loving people at the top. It is those that are the harbingers of more money is better. I need to have more money, and they don't have any care for those that they cause suffering to. And we now know that, you know, that food, it's like such a duh thing. When I was in nursing school, well, actually before nursing school, when I was in college at the beginning and I was taking nutrition, and I was really beginning to understand how food affects our physical, mental, and emotional. And I learned at that time, doctors took zero nutrition classes. I don't know if it's changed. I would hope so. But really, they're just pill dispensers anymore. That particularly general practitioners, internists, all they will do is prescribe pills, because that's all they've learned. That's what they go to school to learn, how to diagnose something. And here's the pill to give you for it. Sometimes they're going to cure what's going on. More often than not, they're going to treat a condition that continues to require more pills and different drugs. So I digress. I could speak on this all day. The healthcare system, probably the most expansive business in this country. Every hospital around is building more and more because there are more and more sick people. The only thing the body has to deal with is what goes across your mouth. So the healer, That's my little bout with the healer right now, and the hyper responsibility. The healer is going to tell you how to stay in balance. A true healer, they're not going to tell you that they're going to heal you. Crystal Cave, these cards are so gorgeous. As Sacred Forest, Crystal Cave, trust. And this is trust in you. Trust that you can bring yourself and your world into balance by choosing that. Those two very powerful words, I choose, on a regular basis. What are you choosing? Choose to be in the trust that you can receive and act and make a difference in your very small corner, which then radiates out, ripples on a lake. When you throw a pebble in, when you throw the pebble into your own life of balance, love, gratitude, that's what goes out. And it is effortless. It doesn't have to be this huge effort. This is a very small practice daily. And again, if you hate cooking, you can choose to just cook one day a week and you spend 3 hours cooking everything that you're going to be able to just heat up for the week. And you can eat far more healthfully. If you're into salads, you make that one big salad mix. Don't buy the bags. There's crap in that that's preserving it. Buy it from the farmer's market if you can. Buy enough to make that salad mix for the week. Keep it very dry in the bag because it will last that way. There's so many tricks to eating well and taking charge. The relaxer, another aspect of the responsibility. You must choose to relax. Again, the balance. If you do not relax, you can't recharge. And if you can't recharge, you have nothing to offer the world. Purification. Keep seeking ways to release the energies that no longer serve you. That can be with flushing, just with water, just agreeing to drink enough water, which would be at least 64 ounces a day, if not a little more, to release the toxins that our bodies are constantly asking us to release. Excuse me, my nose is itching. If you are in a health crisis, there is never a bad reason. It is never bad to drink 64 ounces of water a day, unless, of course, your body is, depleting its electrolytes. And if you have some severe health issues, contact your doctor first. But for 99% of us, I would guess, drinking 64 ounces of clean water a day is always going to benefit our health, if not your energy level. That is what I found when I started drinking more, is that my energy level increased. So that is a responsibility, not a hyper responsibility. And you are not responsible for the health of others except maybe your children. uh, be offering them the cleanest, most nutritious food. If your family is in a habit of eating crap, you are the one that can change that. That is your responsibility. And they're going to not like it. There again is the tough love, the being responsible enough to pull back the crap that they've been eating and go, yeah, I know you don't like this, but this is for your best interest. This is my job to keep you as healthy as possible. And forgive me, but how we've been eating is not the healthiest possible. And the last card coming up today is New Beginnings. This is where you become unhyper responsible and you become balancedly responsible, bringing your world, your family, your body, your life into a balanced, responsible place. Keep asking, what is my part here? What is mine to own? And you will receive that information. Again, I invite you to start muscle testing yourself. If you don't know how to do that, request, direct message me the video. I will show you how to muscle test yourself. And I give you several different ways because people are different in what they are able to feel in the beginning. And if you start with the I'm open, I'm willing, I'm ready, guide me, prayer, mantra, connection technique to your guides, angels, companions, you will figure out the one that works for you. And when you start working it, you begin to trust your intuition more. We all want to be in a place of greater discernment. So be aware right now of your balanced responsibility in this life. And just stay aware too, like I said in the beginning, we've got some huge geomagnetic energy coming in from the sun that could put out the grid in places, cause power outages. Get yourself some water put aside, some batteries, a light source. If you live in a hot area, if you can get some containers, maybe your swimming pool, if you have a kiddie pool, I would fill it with water so that you are able to cool yourself down this time of year. So a huge, huge message for today: be balancedly responsible, because that is going to keep you more physically, mentally, and emotionally stable and sound. Seeking balance. I'm open, willing, and ready. Show me where I am out of balance in my life, and show me where I'm taking too much responsibility and not, if you don't have children in your home, children, not your children, but children aged from 18 under, if you don't have them in your home, your children are no longer your responsibility. You can love them, you can care for them, but they are making their own decisions. You can keep them in safety, you can wrap them in love, which is always a good idea. But 18 and under, they are your responsibility. And if you've been messing up with them, it's not going to be terribly easy to get back in line with it. But the truth is, if all you have in your home is high vibe, very healthy food, that's what they get to eat. Sometimes it is rough, but do what is yours to do in this world and be the light that you came in a balanced, responsible way. I think we're complete for this day. 5 days from the solstice, a very powerful, energetic time where the sun actually stops, sort of. It seems to stop and go up and down in the same place in the sky for a few days. Longest day, longest amount of sunshine. Very powerful time in the world. Be those harbingers of love and joy. Shed it throughout the world. Take care of you. Be balanced in all you do. Thanks for joining me. I'm Victoria Savage, Nurse Savage, on your side, your wisdom guided oracle. Until we meet again. Thanks, Adina. Yes, hydration is huge. It's nice to see you, Adina. Stay cool, my friend.